Today I'm going to be doing something I've wanted to do for a very long time, and I am here in Bangkok at Suvarnabhumi Airport, and today I will be flying business class for the very first time in my life, and also for the very first time I'm not dreading a flight. I'm actually excited for the flight. I'm here at the airport, I'm going to get through security, and in this video I'm going to take you through, show you the experience, give you my honest take on it, as Qatar is meant to be the best business class in the world. I can't compare it to anything because I'm a peasant, so I've never been on it up until now. But today I get to experience what life is like in business class. Gonna go through the airport, get through security, and then I will see you as we board the flight and go business class for the first time on the world's best business class, Qatar Airways. Let's go. So I am now at the gate for the flight. That is the wing, just over there, and got a little confession to make. We actually booked economy, we didn't book business until we got an email offering us to upgrade 2 or 3 days ago, and the offer was ridiculous. It's like 10 times, if not more, cheaper than what you would pay for business class usually. We like to travel and we like to do a lot of things. I like to travel, I like to do a lot of things, and if I was to do that, there's no way I could afford to fly business, hence why I've never flown business before. But on this occasion I can. Hopefully in the future I'd love to be able to afford to fly business every time. Life is life, things are expensive, and I know this is an extreme luxury and probably a one-off, or at least a very rare occasion for us. So we decided to go for it as an early Christmas present for ourselves, and it was super affordable as far as business goes. But yeah, boarding is starting very, very soon, and I will show you and explain the whole experience. I'm buzzing to get on the flight, I genuinely am. Little secret too, I'll let you in on. 9 times out of 10 I need medication to get on a plane. I do not like flying, it makes me super anxious. This flight, I don't really have that feeling. That same anxiety is not really there. It's kind of replaced with excitement. Hopefully it lives up to what we expect. Let's get on board. Get to go upstairs, buddy. As soon as you get on board, you notice that the customer service is 10 out of 10. Qatar Airways is known for great customer service, and I have flown with them before, obviously not business, but up in business class, the customer service is just that notch above. They address you by your name, they take you to your seat, and it just feels like you're being looked after, like you're in a 5-star hotel. We had the seats in the middle, which in business class you have one on the outside by the window, one on the other side by the window, and then you have 2 in the middle. You have a little separator in the middle if you were sat next to a stranger, but for us we always kept that down, and it's good if you are in a couple or 2 people traveling together and you know each other, you can slide that down, so basically you're sat together and can experience the whole flight together. And if you want privacy and you're sat next to a stranger, you can just slide it up. The food service and drink selection is unreal. To think you're on a plane is a madness. But before I get onto that, the fact that you can lie down fully on this flight blows my mind. I'm about 5'9" or 5'10", so maybe if you were 6'3", 6'4", you wouldn't be able to lie down and fully extend, but I still had a little bit of room even with lying down. Honestly, I thought these seats reclined. I did not know they went flat like this. You also get this blanket that feels nicer than the one I've got at home, and you get some pajamas. I'm not a pajama guy, but Rem was in her pajamas before the flight had even taken off. Now I'll show you the menu that we got given on board. You've got some carrot and coconut soup, lobster for starters. We got the braised beef and short ribs. There's some chicken, there's some vegetarian options, there's some light meals and snacks throughout the flight, and there's an extensive soft drink menu as well as the alcoholic drinks menu, which I'll show you in a sec. Now, if you wanted a drink, and I did have a few, you had an extensive list of champagne, wine, white wine, red wine, rosé, everything in between. This whole menu you could just choose from whenever throughout the flight. Even though I'm not an expert on wine, I'm pretty sure from the glasses I had, they were pretty nice and good quality wine, especially on a flight. You also had cocktails and beers to choose from if you didn't want wine or champagne. Now let's go back to the seat. The seat itself, you come with a big blanket that I already spoke about earlier. Honestly, the quality of that blanket was unreal. You then have these pajamas that you can put on if you want to sleep in flight or just get more comfortable. You have this pillow as well. On the side, you have this button that does everything. You can change your foot position, you can change your arm position, you can change your lumbar support, you can make the bed go flat, you can do everything from this thing. And legit, it was probably one of the best things about this seat. We all know that when you're flying, one of the most uncomfortable things is the leg room and not being able to extend and get comfortable. This is not the case in this seat in business. You also have a lot of storage space. Now, I'm not sure whether we all need this, but it's handy to have. Let's say you have your laptop with you and a few gadgets, devices, iPad, headphones. Then you have these, that's not storage, but you have these spaces where you can put whatever you've got and just slide it down into there. In this is the headphones they provide, but there's plenty of storage about. There's also a tray behind you where you can put your stuff if you want it to easily be reachable. And the table in front of you is also a lot bigger. It just slides out nice and easy, folds out, and that's where you can whack all your food, all your drinks, or whatever you decide to order. When it's time to eat, the staff come around and lay out your table for you. They give you these selection of bread rolls. You get a little fake candle, a glass, and they put a cloth on the table. The bread rolls were 10 out of 10. They were unreal, especially with the butter and a little bit of olive oil they provide, but it's just a nice little setting. And then after that, they come round with the starters, which was the hummus and the pita bread. I was half tempted by the lobster, but to be honest, I preferred this and it was pretty good. For main course, it was this beef short rib with this, I think they call it fondant, potatoes and asparagus. I'll be honest, this wasn't my favourite out of everything we ate. It was still good. It was just the other things were slightly better. It's also worth noting that this plane was the Airbus A380, which is the largest passenger aircraft in the sky, and it also does have quite widely accepted the nicest lounge for business and first class passengers in the sky as well, which, although I don't have much to compare it to, it was pretty nice. And if there is any turbulence, then the actual seats in the lounge have seatbelts, so you can plot up there, order a drink if you didn't want to be in your seat, and wait it out there as well. Now, we're talking minor details here, and I'm not going to give you a full tour of the toilet, but the toilet seat was leather, was padded leather toilet seat, which just shows again the levels of detail that Qatar Airways are going when they're providing this service. Here we had the staff coming around and serving drinks and offering some coffee. Here was a beer that I ordered that got delivered, and then had a choice out of some nuts, some dates, and one other thing that I can't remember. After the food got served, we had a few drinks, a couple of snacks. We decided to set up the bed and try and get some sleep. I had around about 2 hours sleep, and this is the only flight I've ever been on where I felt comfortable, and it didn't even cross my mind that I was on a plane the whole time. After getting a couple hours sleep, that was actually very, very comfortable and restful. I stuck something on the entertainment. I don't really know or remember what I watched, but I just enjoyed the remainder of the flight. And I think that is the craziest part about this whole experience for me, is the fact that this is the only flight that I've ever been on that I did not want to finish. It didn't feel like I was on a plane. It didn't feel like I was uncomfortable, my legs were cramped, or I was waiting for it to end. I genuinely wish I could do this all the time. And I guess now maybe a life goal of mine is to be able to fly business on long haul later on in life. I'm so grateful to have had the experience. There was a few pinch me moments when I was on board where I went to the toilet or I had a sip of drink and I felt like 007, and I thought, wow, this is the life. I wish I could do this all the time. Maybe one day, not right now, but Qatar Airways, unbelievable. It blew me away. If I was to pick a couple of slight downsides to this, is the fact that now economy is always going to feel that little bit less satisfying knowing that business class exists. And also, because you want to take in the experience, half of you wants to make the most out of being able to lie flat and go to sleep on a plane. Half of you wants to stay awake, enjoy it, embrace it, and make the most out of all of the things that business class offers and the comfort on hand. Overall, the whole experience with Qatar Airways was incredible, and if you ever got the chance to fly business with these guys, I would highly recommend it. I'm aware that we were extremely lucky and fortunate to be able to do it, and most people aren't, but if you do get the chance and you can fly business, fly with these guys. As always, I appreciate you tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.